Hello everyone. This morning, August 5th, we will analyze how the market is going to move, everyone. All my analysis and opinion are just personal analysis and should not be considered investment advice. You must be responsible for what you invest in. As in my usual analysis sessions, I will analyze BTC and ETH for everyone. And let's analyze together to see how we should handle the market view this morning, whether to long or short. And if we long, where will we long? And if we can short, where can we short? And where can we set stop loss or take profit levels? Now let's dive into the analysis. Here we are looking at the daily candle of BTC. BTC closed its daily candle this morning as a green candle with quite strong momentum. In the analysis videos that I have shared with you in previous days, we have seen that we had quite good buying pressure, and I have given my VIP group members and community group members some very nice long positions. From the entries at 62,800 and 63,500, we have achieved some very nice take profit targets. Our first take profit target was 64,000 and the second was 65,000. And this morning, BTC reached the level of 64,500. All right, now let's continue analyzing BTC for this morning. This morning, we saw BTC close with a green candle, showing quite strong momentum as it ran up to the 64,500 region. We are about to set our second take profit targets in the 65,000 region. And with the candle closing like this morning, let's analyze where it might head next. So with this candle closing pattern, and considering that previously you saw continuous reversal doji candles combined with bullish engulfing candles, is a strong signal. And with a pattern like this, there's a high probability that we will see BTC continue to rise to complete its wave. If you pay attention, let's take another look at this monthly candle region. Regarding the monthly candle, as I shared with everyone before, when it closes like this, there is a high probability that in this month, August, BTC will continue to rise to retest these highs, which are the $67,000 region and even higher $68,000 and $70,000. For this monthly candle, I am expecting BTC to potentially reach the $70,000 level. And I have shared this with you guys in many videos during previous analysis sessions, right? And let's look at the weekly candle. For the weekly candle, this week it closed as a red candle with a bearish engulfing pattern, but it has already reached the support zone, so there is a high probability it will continue to go up, understand? And in the daily candles, we consistently have reversal candlestick patterns. Here, with continuous reversal doji and bullish engulfing patterns, the expectation is that it will continue to rise. For today's daily candle, with such a strong closing momentum, the green candle, we expect it to continue rising to retest the $65,000 and $66,000 zones. And in parallel with that, let's see how USDTD is moving. For USDTD, we can see it has a resistance zone up here, and previously when it touched this resistance zone, it formed a bearish engulfing pattern. After that, it continued to test the resistance zone once more, and we can see it has moved downwards. And today, its daily candle closed as another bearish engulfing pattern. With the bearish engulfing pattern, I often share with everyone that it tends to retest the resistance zone, right? And then it will continue to go down. This morning for USDTD, I expected it to potentially rebound to the 8.46% to 8.5% zone. And we will continue to observe it on the H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, we can see that it previously had some very nice reversal forces, right? See, it went up, hit the resistance zone, and formed a bearish engulfing reversal candlestick pattern. And with a bearish engulfing pattern like this, we expect it to continue to rebound. So this morning for USDTD, I expect it to rebound somewhere around the 8.46 to 8.5 zone. If it rebounds like that, we will continue to see it go down, right? I expect it to rebound to 8.46 or 8.5%. After that, it will continue to go down to retest this 8.215% zone. And in parallel with that, we see this. What are we seeing with BTC on the H4 time frame? We are seeing a structure where the highs are getting lower, right, everyone? Here, lower highs. But currently, you can see that this zone here, this zone right here, the lower highs pattern is being broken on the H1 time frame, which means what? At 62,300, BTC is finding quite good support and has shown a tendency to turn back to increase again. Meaning before this, I had drawn a structure of lower highs and lower lows, right? With this last bottom wave and the lower highs and lower lows, I expected the next bottom to be at 61.8 thousand, but it only went down to somewhere around 61.3 thousand, and it has held up quite well at this spot. So this is the deepest zone that this wave 4-5 could potentially retrace to, right? And it is holding up quite well right here. This is already a fairly strong support zone for BTC, and let's take a look at this on the H1 time frame. On the H1, we can see it's forming an uptrend structure again, meaning after it came back and tested the 62.3 thousand zone 3 times, it didn't break down to 61.8 thousand as I expected, right? And as you can see, it has started to rise again. At that point, if we draw the last wave, it's rising again and it will follow this structure. Here, if it rises again, I think its movement structure will look like this, everyone. Here, let me adjust it just a little bit. Here you go, everyone. Here on the H1, it has held up quite well at the 62.3 thousand zone. And it has moved up. And at this moment, as it continues to move up, it will create the next Elliott impulse wave. If it follows the Elliott impulse wave correctly, it will reach this point. And we can see it going through wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So right now it is running towards wave 4. For this wave 4, I expect it to head towards wave 5. If it retraces to wave 4, we can see there is a fairly good support line at the wave 4 area here. So this morning, we will observe BTC at the 63.5 thousand area. If it drops to 63.5K and continues to hold well, forming a reversal candlestick pattern at this 63.5K area, then we will open a long position to continue riding it up to the 65.5K to 65.7K range, everyone. As for this USDTD, it is forming a structure where the peaks are getting lower, right? For USDTD, I am expecting it to follow a pattern called lower highs and lower lows based on the structure of an impulse wave like this. That is what I am expecting, guys. So right now, it is moving up to retest to create its next peak. And the next peak I am expecting is around 8.5%. I have it from 8.46% to 8.5%. That is the zone I expect USDTD could reach, meaning this wave 3-4, it could go up to somewhere around 8.46% to 8.5%. It would be better if it goes up to 8.5%. And if it reaches 8.5%, that is also its resistance zone. So in parallel with that, it's like BTC at what zone? 63,500 to 63,600. That is what's called the support zone for BTC. If it pulls back to this point and holds and forms a reversal candlestick pattern, then we will see it continue to run up to the 65,700 zone, okay? So this morning, with the analysis of H1, H4, and the daily candles of BTC and USDTD, we expect to continue opening long positions in the BTC zone of 63,500 to 63,600. If it holds this zone well, we will see that its impulse wave structure, the Elliott impulse wave structure, will continue to persist and it will move up further to the 65,700 zone. On the daily candle, it is still in an uptrend and it has only pulled back a little bit. So the zone that it pulled back to is the 63.5 zone. We expect it to pull back to the 63.5 zone and then continue to rise. Because on the daily candle, we can see that today's daily candle closes a green candle, which is quite strong, meaning the upward momentum is still quite good, right? So we are expecting it to continue the wave 3 to 4 pullback down to the 63.5 to 63.6 zone. If it can hold this zone, it will continue to complete wave 4 to 5 to move up to the new high zone, which is 65,700 to 66,000. So our view for this morning is to continue looking for long positions. No, do not short, everyone. And for long positions, we will look to enter somewhere around the 63,500. Yes, 63,500 to 63,600 range. If the price comes back to this area and holds well and forms a reversal candlestick pattern, we will open a long position at that 63,500 level. And at that point, we will set our stop loss at 63,000, everyone. As is my usual practice, when I give you guys trades in my signal groups or community groups, I usually provide 2 entries. So if it comes back to this 63,600 area and forms a reversal candlestick pattern, remember, it must have a reversal candlestick pattern. Okay, everyone? Then we will open one trade at the 63,600 area. The second trade we will open at the 63,300 area. So one trade at 63,600. Below this area, around 63,300, we'll place another trade because there are cases where it will sweep down. If we set the stop loss below this area, it's not very ideal. There are cases where it will push the price down to sweep liquidity. We should enter the trade somewhere around 63,300, okay? And we cut a bit below here, meaning we cut at 63,000. We should cut in this area below. So the view this morning when analyzing BTC ETH on the H1, H4, and daily candles, we concluded that we will open a long position at the 63,600 area for one trade. The second trade we will enter at 63,300, right? And we caught at 63,000. Is that okay, everyone? If the wave structure is correct, it will pull back to 63,500 to 63,600. Then it will go back up and test the level up here, okay? So we can enter one trade in the 63,600 zone, and the second trade at 63,200 is also fine. 63,200 to 63,300 is also fine, right? And we cut at the 63,000 zone. Is that okay, everyone? And if you want to be safer, we can cut a portion at 62,900 as well. And where will our next TP be? Our TP1 is the 64,800 zone right here, a bit above this peak. And TP2 is 65,800. Is that clear, everyone? Those are the two zones where we will take profit. That's for BTC. But what about ETH, guys? For ETH, we can see on the daily candle, today ETH is still closing with a green candle, right? Before that, what did we see? The 1,840 zone is where I told you guys to open a long position yesterday. And we can see that 1,840 is a pretty good support zone for it. Previously, it had a bullish candle. Then it came back to test the support zone once more. And we can see it's rising again, right? Today, the daily candle closed as a green candle with what kind of momentum? Quite small, right? However, since this one closed as a green candle, there's a very high probability it will go up to test this draw at 1,882 and go even higher to 1,900, right? And even higher than that is 1,930 like this. And with this candle close, BTC had a slight recovery this morning. I expect this ETH to pull back to 1,860. And let's look at this H4 chart. I expect it to pull back to around 1,860 and even deeper to 1,840. So for my entry orders this morning with this ETH, we will look for an entry somewhere around 1,840. 1,860 is still not good, everyone. One order at 1,840 and one order at 1,820. And we'll set our stop loss around 1,800, everyone. And we will continue to take profit around the 1,900 area, 1,890 or 1,900. The second target is 1,930, okay? So that's what we're expecting. And this morning, we'll wait for this ETH to retrace back to what's called its support zone. If it pulls back to 1840, we'll look for a reversal candlestick pattern in this area to enter the trade. The first entry is 1840. The second entry is 1820, and we'll set the stop loss at 1800 for proper risk management. If it breaks through this area, meaning it breaks past 1840, it will drop very deeply. So we'll cut our losses at 1800. That is my analysis for BTC and ETH this morning. If you find this helpful, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive videos every day.